Alright folks, welcome to the very first video of Headrush Vaping. I would like to wish you all a Merry Christmas and wonderful clouds. Today we will be looking at the RDTA Plus from Limitless and the Wisemec Rx200S. Now, I would love to do an unboxing for you folks, but sadly I've had this mod and setup for quite a while now, so I will not be able to do that right now. In the future, I hope to be unboxing such wonderful things as the UL SE-1, the RX200. Just ordered it. It is on its way, and the day it gets here, I will do an unboxing for you. Today, I will be vaping on Drizzle from Drip Vault. You can find it online at giantvapes.com. One of my absolute favorite places to order juice because of the wonderful price, the great customer service, and they send me all kinds of stickers that will be going on that wall right there. Now, in this RDTA Plus, that is, I am currently using dual 0.27 ohm fused claptons. Now, why am I specific about this? Well, because that just happens to be what's in it. I'm sorry, folks. There isn't really a reason for me to be specific about it, except for that's the way it is, man. Now, I will be vaping this at 100 watts today. I might take it a little higher, I might take it a little lower, just to show you some range. I am using the preheat function that Wisemec put out with the RX's latest firmware update. It has a preheat function, and they added these nifty logos. You can upload your own. Saw this really cool Deadpool one, but you know, Wisemec mod, Wisemec logo. I thought it was pretty clever. Now, as you can see, this build took pretty nice clouds. This tank has great capacity at 6.2 milliliters. That's when it is stacked to the gills, though, folks. I recommend running about 5.5. That is a lot of juice. Yes, I know, the Mason dump tanks, you know, there's lots of things that use more juice. But that's more juice than you put in a Cloud Beast. Baby Beast, of course. Can't really think of very many tanks that use 6 milliliter capacity. Yes, I know, there will be tons named in the comments later. Feel free to call me a dumbass down there. Sometimes I am. Now, to talk about this tank. Alright, folks, it comes in a variety of colors. I, of course, have the red. I think it looks pretty nifty. Kind of a bit of a bandana pattern going on. And, of course, the absolutely lovely Limitless logo, which I like. You know, I'm a simple guy. I like the triangle. I think it looks great. Now, this does have absolutely massive airflow holes. It's more like breathing than sucking, folks. I mean, look at this. I don't know the exact stats on this at the moment. I didn't pull them up. I was stupid. But they are massive, and there's 2 of them. 1 on each side. Now, the way this is set up is what you do to one airflow hole, you do to the other. You can completely seal them off or have them completely wide open. By the way, folks, in case you wanted to see, everyone likes to see sparks and smoke. There you go, sparks and smoke. Does it nicely, doesn't it? I would love to show you the coils heating up without cotton, but I'm not going to do that now, folks. I wicked this morning. The cotton is pressed. I don't have a second tank to show you it on. I'm sorry. Oh, speaking of wicking, the way the wicking on this works is the wicking drops into the tank through 4 holes on the deck, which, by the way, I believe is an 18 millimeter deck. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it's an 18 millimeter deck, which means that you have plenty on this huge 2-post velocity style deck. I mean, yes, once again, there are bigger decks, but for a tank this size, that is a huge deck. I like that word, deck. All right, folks. Now, as far as flavor, it's excellent. The claptons that it came with were excellent. I'm only not using those because I finally wore them out. Now, I've had this tank for 3 months. I wore the claptons out middle of last month, and that's when I switched to these fused claptons. And you can see, we're still checking some pretty nice clouds. Now, this tank does come with 2 glasses when you buy it, O-rings, a small screwdriver, 2 coils, a piece that you can put on the deck to make it into a single coil mod. I believe it's a silicone piece. And of course, everybody's favorite and wonderful little blue screwdriver. Do I have all these things on hand right next to me? No. Should I? Probably should have, but sadly do not. Once again, a bit of a dumbass sometimes. Proof's right there. Now, as you can see, definitely checks great clouds no matter what build you've got on it. Now, the lowest build I've had on this tank personally was a 0.125 when I checked it on my own reader. This one comes out to 0.27 flat. Now, each coil alone comes out to a 0.45, so that tells you what I'd be running if I was running a single coil setup, which I'm not, because clouds, flavor, all that good stuff. As far as cotton, I'm using this absolutely wonderful kind called cotton candy cotton, and it's very reliable, wicks wonderfully, and it takes a lot to go through it. I change my cotton once a week. Works great. Now let's talk about this mod. This is the Rx200S from Wisemec, designed by J-Bo. It is reliable. It uses 3 18650 batteries. It has a wattage range with the latest firmware update of 1 to 250 watts. With the amount of vaping I do, I go through approximately 2 full sets of 3 batteries a day. The setup on the batteries is fairly simple, as you can see here. 3 batteries, 1, 2, 3, count. Now, there are 2 versions of this mod. There is the RX200 and the RX200S. The differences are very slight. I'm not going to go into the RX23. I haven't touched one, so I don't know enough about it to critique or judge it compared to these other 2. But this is based off of the RX200, which has a slightly smaller screen, and the screen is horizontal instead of vertical. Now, this mod does have a preheat function now, which I am using as we speak. It does have temp control, which will go from 200 degrees Fahrenheit to 600 degrees Fahrenheit, and will round robin into Celsius if that is what you prefer. The temp control does work. I have tried it. I'm not really big into temp control. I'd rather control my own watts and judge my temperature, through the lovely burn marks on my lips. If I get too hot, I promise I'll know. I'll probably know very quickly. Now, I have not had any problems with this mod, personally. But there have been numerous people that have had problems with the 510 pin, which on the newest version of the RX300, they're supposed to have fixed. I'll be able to tell you in a few days when I get mine. But on this one, the 510 pin is a little bit firm and doesn't have quite the range of motion I would prefer. That said, with this tank, it does sit perfectly flush, including in the front. There is no overhang, which is nice. And, I think it works quite well with, the red and black and the red and black. Nice matching pieces, Oh, I almost forgot. There's one more feature for this tank that I wanted to show you guys. When you order it, it comes with an adapter for a 510 drip tip. So that if you don't like, the big cup hole, you can put your own 510 on there. You can also use the drip tip adapter as a drip tip, and it works quite well. I haven't had any problems with it. Now, as far as battery capacity and all of that depends on your batteries, but I get a fair amount of life out of it, depending on how much I vape that day. Like during this, I'm probably going to drop, a good 20% because, gotta be honest with you, being on camera makes me a little nervous, especially it just is. Kind of my first time. Now, those of you that got to read my post over at Vape Nation, the wonderful Facebook group that y'all are wonderful people over there. I love you guys. I recommend joining the group if you are a vapor. Now, anybody that read the post where I said that I was going to be doing this live stream will notice that this is the second one. On the first one, I was a dumbass. I had my microphone muted for 20 minutes while I rambled and blew clouds at the camera. Who does that? I mean, honestly, who does that? Like I said, this piece works great. Great little 510 drip tip. Whatever you like to use it for. Personally, I don't use it. Not with this mod. With other mods, I might use the adapter. But with this one, I actually kind of like it without it. It's very nice. It vapes great like that. Now, as far as the mod goes, I like it. It is not a DNA mod, you cannot use eScribe with it. Yes, with the latest firmware, you can upload your own logo, all kinds of nice stuff. But it doesn't use a DNA chip, which, a lot of people love that DNA chip. I've only used one DNA mod, and it was great, but I thought it was kind of gimmicky, to be honest. I mean, yes, it regulates your watts and everything really, really well. But the whole eScribe thing just seemed a little gimmicky to me. This, it works, it's reliable, it's solid. You're not going to worry about dropping and breaking it because you can order another one for around 40 bucks. Whereas, that DNA 200 that everyone loves, you're looking at probably a minimum of 100 to 150, which is a little pricey. Now, for a budget vapor, which I am at the moment, that seems a little much. Now, this mod is a little big in the hand. I don't have huge hands, I have small hands. It's a little big for me in the hand, but it is my daily vapor, and I'm used to it. There are smaller mods. There are bigger mods. Go with what you're comfortable with. If you don't like it, you don't like it. Probably sell it to a buddy of yours for the same price you bought it for. Now, let me think here for a second. What have we not talked about? I think I've just about covered most things that I wanted to cover on the mod. Most things I wanted to cover about the tank. I believe I said it, the tank has a 6.2 milliliter capacity, which is huge. I said it looks nice, which it does. It's a gorgeous setup. Comes in different colors. Both do, the mod and the tank. The glass for the tank comes in 2 different colors. Comes with all kinds of little extra pieces, you know, an extra clear glass, a shadow glass, which is what I'm using, of course. Extra O-rings, cotton, 2 clapton coils, which when I put them on there went down to 0.125. Are all of our RDA builders out there will recognize the lovely blue screwdriver that comes in the box. Yeah, I think that's about it, folks. So I'm going to wrap this up and say thank you for watching my very first video at Headrush Vapes. Feel free to comment, call me a dumbass, you know, whatever you feel is necessary in today's society. If you like it, tell me that too. I'd love to have it. Feel free to subscribe, you know, whatever you like. Y'all have a lovely day. This was Headrush Vapes.